Well, hi there. So, if you're watching this on video today, then I am helping people log into for GMAS. Yes, fun times. So, you've got your little paragraph, your notes here with some closed blanks that you're going to fill in and use this information to practice verb moods that for a few questions you may see on GMAS later this week. All right, so verb moods. So yes, verbs can be moody, just like middle school kids. All right, so verb moods. Let's go. So verb moods. Verb moods show how the writer feels about a sentence. It's like how you feel about what they're saying. So verb moods show how the writer feels about the sentence or what they're saying. So basically it tells if a sentence is a fact, a command, a question, something that might happen, or something that isn't true. Okay, so it's sort of like sentence types like declarative, imperative, interrogative. It's sort of like that, but it's a little bit more complex. Okay, so here we go. So the first one is indicative, and indicative is like a declarative sentence, okay? But literally, it's just a regular old sentence. It's a regular sentence. And it's a statement, that's a fancy word for statement, that is a fact or an opinion. So a statement, a fact or opinion. Okay, so it just states a fact or opinion. So here our example is Bill called his sister. All right, so the next one is imperative, and imperative is like an imperative sentence. Imperative, it gives a command. And it tells you to do something. So subject, you understood. It's basically, the subject is not there, and we call this you understood. So the subject is not stated, but usually someone is talking to another person and telling them to do something. Like here, call Bill's sister. So someone is telling another person to call Bill's sister. All right, and then we got interrogative. It's just like an interrogative sentence. It asks a question. All right, so over here, did Bill call his sister? I don't know, did he? We're going to find out. All right, so interrogative, ask a question. Then you have subjunctive. So we're the last two, subjunctive and conditional. Those two are a little more tricky. All right, so subjunctive is not real or true or a fact. Okay, it's kind of like a wish. Okay, so like a wish or hypothetical situation. It may make a suggestion using that. Okay, and it uses certain helping verbs like would, could, shall, should, and may. Okay? And it may use were. And I'll explain that in just a second. So if we look here over at our sentence examples, we have here that we have Bill would call his sister if he were able to. Now, you know that if I say he was or were, you're going to answer he was, right? Yeah. But if it's subjunctive, for some reason in English, this is correct. Okay? So just be aware, if you see one of these helping verbs and you see were instead of the correct subject verb agreement of was, then you in your brain you should probably be saying, you know what, I bet this is subjunctive. So weird. Okay, and then the other example we have here uses that. So Bill, I think that you should call your sister. Okay, and again, it's giving a suggestion or it's making a wish. All right, now let's take a look at conditional. Conditional is sort of the cause and effect of types of sentences, okay? All right, so conditional. Conditional depends on something else to happen, okay? It's a possibility or uncertainty, something that you don't know is going to happen. Uncertainty, C-E-R. Okay, so something you don't know is going to happen or not. And it's usually kind of if-then type relationship. So if this happens, then that happens, okay? And it uses certain helping verbs like will, shall, can, might, and would, and could. Okay, so make sure you get all those down. So conditional depends on something else to happen, and it shows a possibility or an uncertainty. There's usually an if this happens, then that'll happen, and it uses helping verbs will, shall, can, might, would, and could. Okay, so here, if Bill calls his sister, she will answer. If you notice you have an if, and then it doesn't say then she will answer. It just, you know, one thing happens, then it leads to another thing. Okay? All right, so now we are going to switch modes. We've looked at all these. We're going to do another example together, but this time it's about buying apples. Everyone loves apples, right? All right, so sentence with apples. Ooh, I am buying apples. All right, so let me write that down. I am buying apples. You write it down on your paper. All right, so I'm buying apples. Oops, I need a period. Okay, so now an imperative mood type sentence would be something like, buy some apples. Maybe someone is telling me, like my husband, hey, buy some apples when you're at the store. Interrogative, did you buy some apples? And then, of course, it's a question. I'm going to put a question mark at the end. All right, and then subjunctive. Oh, I know. I should buy some apples. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Oh, I go. Here's one. If I go to the store, because that's usually where you get apples at, I can buy some apples. Okay, so those are our verb moods. We have conditional, depends on something to happen, or it's a possibility, and it's got an if-then relationship. You've got subjunctive, it's kind of like a wish, or it makes a suggestion. Interrogative, ask a question. Imperative gives you a command. And indicative is just a regular old statement or a sentence that has a fact and or opinion. All right, so now we're going to switch over and do a little practice. So I've switched over, and I'm here with my favorite HMH Online textbook. You know it. Okay, so here we go. We are going to do these together. Okay, now you're answering the questions, of course, in the video in Google Classroom, and you will definitely get more credit, though, when you answer the questions correctly on the first try. And some of these, you should be able to get them on the first try. All right, and remember, indicative, and imperative, and interrogative are pretty straightforward, okay? It's the only subjunctive and conditional that are confusing, all right? But you've got your clues, so use your notes, do your best, okay? All right, so let's do this. Okay, so first one. The ferry sails frequently between Cialis, France, and Dover, England. That sounded like a fact to me. All right, so I hope that you clicked indicative, because that would be correct. All right, let's do number 2, shall we? Number 2, please hold your applause until after all the presentations. I don't see a subject, and it sounds like they're telling me to do something. All right, if you put imperative, you were thinking right. Okay, imperative. Next. Come on now, there you go. Is it necessary that he rehearse tonight? Ooh, I see this that, but there's a question mark. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you were thinking it was subjunctive, you would be correct. All right. The issue is yes, they're asking a question, but they're also, though, implying that we don't know, like, should he rehearse? So they're kind of making a suggestion. And you also see the this that here, which is making a suggestion. Okay. All right, let's move on to number 4. All right, did you see that lightning? Okay, well, that's a question. It seems pretty straightforward. Okay, so number 4, if you put interrogative, you put right. Now let's take a look at number 5. We're halfway done, y'all. Number 5, she walks her 2 dogs every day. Really? All right, if you don't already know this is indicative, you should know that, because this is a straight up sentence. It tells you a fact. All right, here we are on number 6. Take out the trash immediately, Paul. All right, so take a minute. Think about it. Choose your answer. Choose wisely. All right, so if you put imperative, you are correct, because someone is telling Paul that he needs to take out that trash. All right, number 7. Come on, computer, you got this. Okay, you could be elected to student body president if you got enough votes. I'm seeing the you and the could, and I'm seeing that if. Which one is it? Okay, if you were thinking conditional, you were right. Yeah. All right, and number 8. Number 8. Liani wishes she were scuba diving off of the Yucatan Peninsula. So, I see wish, so it sounds like someone's making a wish. And then I see were, like she were. You don't say she were, you say she was. So, think about that. Okay, so if you're thinking, it's one of these two. So if you're thinking subjunctive, you thought right. Alrighty then, number 9. How much interest does the bank pay on savings accounts? So it sounds like they're asking, well, it has a question mark, so they're asking a question. And I don't see anything that would make me think it was subjunctive or conditional. All right, so if you thought that it was interrogative, you were correct. All right. Next, number 10. Angela intends to continue volunteering at the animal shelter after school is over. Now, intends means Angela wants to do this. So I think she is just, whoever's saying this is stating a fact. So if you chose indicative, you chose correctly. All right, so now that you're done with this fun and exciting practice, you have a quizzes that you can do to practice this skill. And once you get done with your quizzes, you can do the book it games to review the ELA terms that you need for your Georgia milestones. All right, thank you.